Hey, how's it going?
Hey,
Welcome back to another Bourbon and Boarding, everybody. How are
good
you, Brian?
evening, everybody. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Cold, but good.
Cold.
Yeah, I've got
Are,
the full fleece-lined hoodie on under it tonight.
ooh,
I
fleece.
look like I'm wearing a full set of pads. I'm so puffy.
You do look you look robust. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it quite nippy there?
yeah. It's pretty cold at the moment. I think.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're dipping into the 20s every night. I think so. I
Yeah.
don't know what
We're
it is currently, but it's cold enough that my fingers get numb and my toes are getting numb. So
the things you do for your audience, the
yeah.
sacrifices you make.
And for my own entertainment, because
That's
this
true.
is where I've got everything set up out here
That's
anyway.
true.
So I'm sitting here whether I'm
I,
on the stream or
I
not.
I think a garage conversion might be in order.
Yeah.
Get a bit more insulation.
Yeah. I mean, half of it is drywalled and the rest of it is just exposed insulation. So, but it
Oh
would be
dear.
very hard to get everything out of here to be able to fix it all up the way
Oh
it needs
well,
to.
you'll just have to swelter in the summer and freeze in the winter.
Yep. Well, I saw a thing tonight. They've started making ceiling fans that literally just screw into your light socket.
Oh
So
right, okay,
So
yeah.
I may move that light socket and put it directly above me and then put in one of those ceiling fans there because it's I mean, you've got the garage door situation when the garage door is up.
Hmm.
So it's hard to do a ceiling fan anywhere near me, but those are like small ones. But they can move the air pretty good, I guess. So we'll see.
Well, indeed, that's for the future.
Mm-hmm.
But right now you're freezing. It's below zero here. It's kind of hovering around that now these days. Uh, but I can't complain. It's been a pretty reasonable fall weather-wise here, which means we're going to get absolutely hammered soon. it's it's going to
We
be
we don't we don't have a thing called fall. We just go straight from summer to
summer to
like
winter.
a week and a half of temperature falling, and then we're in winter.
Hmm.
It's already snowed 2 feet last week.
We just had a couple of inches which melted, so we're good. Well, that's unusual because normally we had quite a bit by now. But what can I
Yeah.
say? It's obviously it's that climate change.
Uh huh.
I saw the. I mean, this is off topic for hockey, but a meme or a image someone had posted of us. For the first time in 130 years, Mount Fuji has no snow on it at this time of year. It's obviously it's a crisis. So the reply was, well, we survived the last 130 years when it was when there
Yeah.
was no snow in it. What's the
So you're
difference?
saying there was a time 130 years ago where the same thing happened, eh?
That's right. Yeah, like NPC download fail. Yeah.
Yeah, I like when they
So,
do the ones where it's like, well, in the last 536,000 years, we've never seen an event like this, and it's like, really? Who was measuring 536,000 years ago?
that's
Because
right.
I don't
Yeah.
believe your models, because your models can't predict in a
Indeed.
small span, let alone a gigantic one.
Yeah. Well, that shit's about to get punctured very soon, I suspect.
I hope so.
So good evening to everybody in the chats. The chats. We do have Tim, and we do have Mike, and we do have Nick,
And
and
Smoky.
Smokey. So good to see you guys. Slow night so far. I'm sure a few others will trickle in as we go. If Tim is watching, I do want to share something that he sent me. Nothing to do with hockey either. From the RAF Museum, a Jaguar aircraft. That's the ones I used to work on.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, when I was in the Royal Air Force. So
We can't see it. You didn't transition.
you don't need to see it. It's a military secret,
Okay.
even though they probably don't fly anymore. No, there you go. Right. So thank you, Tim, for sending me that. I am not sure if I worked on that specific one, but that I knew that aircraft intimately. Uh, yeah, those were the days. Them were days.
Cool.
So thank you, Tim, for that. I will stop sharing that and we will transition into something else. What are we drinking tonight, my friend?
Well, I'm going to keep working on that bottle of Buffalo Trace. So,
Uh,
and we're getting there.
yeah, the Buffalo Trace goes around and around.
Had quite a bit of it during that horrible, horrible fight last night.
Oh, God, wasn't that the most? I mean, we sat and watched that and talked about it, and there was nothing to talk about. It was
Yeah,
so
everybody's like,
dull.
"You guys aren't very exciting at announcing the fight," and it's like they're just walking around.
Yeah,
Nothing's happening.
just kind of poking and tapping. Yeah, it was terrible.
Thanks for stopping by, DJ Play Nice.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Good to see you. So, yeah, it was awful. It was a terrible fight. So I was actually on, well, Jock McHugh, my alter ego, was on Cotton Council before this, and Jay 3PO was on,
Oh, was
which
he?
was which was nice. So
He
he's
wasn't
been
there when I was
doing
watching.
under Gina's tutelage. Apparently, has been doing a bit of fighting training.
Oh yeah,
So I said, well, I hope
got to
you're
be a
going to fight.
trained bodyguard, huh?
Yeah, I said, I hope you're going to fight Jake Paul. So I'm drinking this. This is the
Bakers.
Baker's. Yes, very nice indeed. That is my drink
And
of
Nick
the
the Greek
night.
says he just tried a new scotch. Which one of the orphan barrels is it, Nick? Because there's tons and tons of orphan barrels, which are an interesting thing. They're
They are.
barrels that either the distillery shut down or for whatever reason the barrels just got abandoned. So they go back and find them amongst all the warehouses, and then they go ahead and finish off the
Oh, that
deal
stuff's
and
great.
make them.
I think there was a Macallan one a couple of years ago. They found or was uncovered,
Yeah,
and it was something like, I don't know, 100 years old, 80 years old, whatever. And it's they bottled it and sold it, and it was like £1 million per bottle or
yeah.
something, some ridiculous amount.
Well, these are orphan barrels, like the bourbon ones. They typically run about $150 to $160. Sometimes they get up into the $500 to $700 range, but for the most part, they're just interesting bottles to have in the collection. Castle's
Yeah,
Curse, huh?
I've got one bottle. I've got rid of a lot of my whiskey from when I worked in the business, but I've got one bottle left from a closed distillery called Rosebank,
Yeah,
which was not in the Highlands. It was pretty near where I used to live in Linlithgow in Scotland. So it's in the lowlands. Closed in the, I don't know, 70s or 80s. I have a bottle from that. They've reopened it, but you can
yeah,
consider that a different thing than from
right.
this. So I mean, I wouldn't say it was worth a fortune. It's probably worth like about $1,000 or something, you know. But it's still something.
Yeah.
It's nice to have something like that, a little bit of history, you know.
Last Saturday morning, I actually got the notification that one of my local stores that I'm signed up for, they got a store pick of Blanton's. So I
Well,
cruised on down there and I managed to get yet another Blanton. So there's another Horsey up there over my shoulder. So now I've got 6 bottles of it at the moment. So, and
if
one
I
is
could,
Blanton's Gold.
we should embiggen you and take a look at it.
Well, we can go to Dynamic and, well, if it'll show Dynamic.
Okay. Well, we'll go back
Or
to
it's broken for us. But yeah, I mean, the new one is this guy.
Ah,
Still in the bag and everything. And he is
nice.
a S, which I didn't have any S's yet. So if you get all it, the toppers all spell out blends and it shows a horse,
Oh, I wondered.
the
Yeah, I
full
wondered.
strides of a horse as it's racing. So this is the final one where he's got his hand up cheering.
Nice. That is beautiful.
So I've got almost all the letters. I mean, I could have the letters anytime I want because between me and my dad, we've got about 30 or 40 bottles. So
Yeah. Wow.
we've completed the collection together multiple times, but I
Then you
haven't
keep
solo
drinking them.
completed it yet.
But do you drink them?
Yeah,
There you go. You
we'll
see,
open them up.
I kind of got past the point of collecting things just to collect them. Either drink them or I sold the ones I knew I'd never drink.
Yeah, these are one
Uh,
of our Blanton's is my dad's favorite. So
uh,
he was drinking it before it really became the big thing, like when you could just walk into a store and buy one. So he's got just tons of them from back then, and now every time we are able to get one, we get it. But we'll be drinking them because we've got plenty of backups, so it's not something just to keep unopened.
For sure. I had quite a collection of stuff because I used to be in the business, and I thought, I'm just going to start drinking these. I was keeping
Yeah.
stuff, and well, what's the point? So I drank a whole lot of good stuff. Things I knew I shouldn't open because they were collectible, I sold them. At least
Well,
someone else can appreciate them then.
the one I
So,
probably shouldn't have opened, I opened on election night.
all
Once
right.
once we had the call, I
Yeah,
opened that Macallan A Night on Earth, which
yeah.
you're technically supposed to drink the bottle all at once because I mean not just you're supposed to share it, but
Oh,
since
yeah.
I was sitting by myself in the garage, I was like, nope, I'm gonna crack open one of the ones I've never had to
Yeah, good
celebrate
for you.
this.
Yeah, good idea, mate. That's what it's for. It was made to be enjoyed. So
Yeah, that's just opening up $180 bottle or whatever it is though, so
it's
I'd
only
rather enjoy
money.
it with other people.
It's only money. Well, I'll come down sometime and enjoy the rest of it with you. Hi, TZ Burton. Hale, good to see you, mate. Uh, Vancouver are one each right now against Chicago.
Yeah.
TZ, I know
Well,
you're
maybe we
probably
should
watching
check
it.
the scoreboard and see
Let's have a
what's
quick
happening.
let's have a quick look at the scores on the doors. I need to share my screen first of all.
And
Getting
I'll
into
get ready for fantasy.
DJ voice. Right, yeah, only one game still going. It's unusual. There's normally two or three still going at this point, but Blackhawks won, Canucks won. Neither team's knocking it out the park. So, uh, yeah, I've got it on over in the background as well. It's the only game left. That's why.
Yeah.
Blues, Bruins, 3-2 for the Blues. Yeah. Kraken beat Islanders 3-2. Blah blah blah.
There was
Leafs
a
Oilers 4-3.
there was a goalie interference called back, I think, in that Kraken Islanders game.
Oh, I didn't know that. But
So I mean, they I think the Kraken had one taken away, so they had
yeah.
to they had to do it twice to beat them.
Well, it just makes it all the sweeter. Leafs 4, Oilers 3. The battle of the darlings of Canada.
Yep.
Yeah, well, fair enough.
I'm kind of surprised the Leafs ended up taking that game. I mean,
I am, actually, yes. They've got a reasonable
of
record,
course,
though. So.
the Oilers have been doing their semi-slow start, so
They have. We'll talk a little bit about them in a few minutes, I'm sure. Canadians, who are rock bottom in the Atlantic, did get a win against the rock bottom team in the Metropolitan. So,
to bring them to even with the Columbus Blue Jackets on wins and
indeed,
overtime losses.
the battle of the basement. Having seen the Stars beat the Penguins 7-1 or whatever it was, 7-2, 7-1. I can't believe that the Jackets are actually worse than them.
Yeah.
Because the Penguins were awful. Just terrible.
I think the Penguins are going to start having to shell out some of these players.
Oh, yeah.
Start the rebuild.
I mean, they're basically, if Sid and Malkin are going to stay there, they are relegating themselves to an ignominious end.
rebuild. Yeah.
Miserable end to their career. I don't think the Penguins actually had a defense in that game. I didn't really notice any defending going on. So we beat them like 7-1 or whatever. It was just.
I'd still be interested if Landeskog is unable to come back. If they would, if McKinnon will try to get his buddy Crosby to come here.
Honestly, poor Sid.
That would be interesting.
Do yourself a favor, Sid. I know you've won a lot of cups with Pittsburgh. It's just not worth ending your career on a sour note like that, no matter how much loyalty. We've scored 6 goals in the first period on 6 shots. It was just a slaughter.
Pretty bad.
Oh, it was bad. Panthers 5, Jets. So that's 2 games the Jets have dropped.
And I am so pissed off. I already told you, and we'll go over it during the fantasy. But that game infuriated me.
Yeah. Tim's in London. It's 4:30 a.m. Yes. But yeah,
That's
it
either early or late, depending
is. It's one or the other. Yeah,
depending on whether you're still up or you're just
or you're
getting up.
just getting up. Usually on this is Saturday night, and many years ago I would have not been in bed by this time yet. At 4:30 a.m. I mean.
Yeah.
Flyers 5, Sabres 2. Who cares? Penguins 4. They managed to win in a shootout against the Sharks.
Against the Sharks.
That's a shame because I'm rooting for the Sharks all the way.
What, to get another lottery pick?
Well, yeah, just to not be the worst ever, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I want like when they won 3 in a row, it was great. You're not going to be the worst ever.
But that was after they became history making for having 2 straight seasons of losing their first 9 games.
That's right. Yeah. Well, see, that's a record though. At least it's a record they got.
Yeah, it's a record, all right.
So if WG's Tim's going back to bed.
All right, good night.
But thanks for being here, Tim, mate. And I showed that picture. I hope you saw it. I did show the picture of the Jaguar. Canes 4, Senators zip.
No surprise there.
Yeah. Stars 2, Wild 1. So that was an entertaining game.
Surprisingly low scoring.
It could have been more. There was lots of chances on both sides, but Ottinger had a great third period. Marchment, who's having a great season, 2 goals. It was tight. It could have gone either way, to be fair.
Yeah.
It could have gone either way. It was high energy, let's put it that way. Kings 4, Wings 1, meh. It's expected. I would have expected that. So, standings-wise, Panthers, who, yeah, well, as they say, the Bobrovsky,
yeah,
Hellebuck situation today.
Yep. I really wasn't sure that they were going to win against Winnipeg, and yeah, they certainly did.
Yeah. So Panthers, Leafs, Lightning. Lightning also beat Winnipeg. So after Winnipeg had that history-making run,
they're having trouble out of conference, huh?
Yeah, I noticed that. So, and if Hellebuck has a bad game, I think that's because he's usually so good. That is a weakness.
He's been a brick wall for them most of the season already, and he is looking like he is going to win the Vezina for 2 straight years because there's nobody that's near him at the moment.
Oh, we couldn't put anything past him when we played them. Well, it sneaked one in, but
I really thought last year after the Avs just demolished him that he would come out with shattered confidence. You know, kind of like when the Broncos destroyed the Carolina Panthers in the Super Bowl and made Cam Newton look like a complete idiot. Cam never recovered from that. I thought, maybe Hellebuck will be shaken by this because that was a beat down last year in the playoffs.
No, it doesn't seem to have affected him. He's playing brilliantly.
Made of sterner stuff than the football players, apparently.
Indeed. I don't think there's any surprises in this in the Atlantic, though. It's playing out the way it should play out.
And maybe swap the Red Wings with the Senators, and that's kind of what I thought it would have been.
Maybe, but I mean, these are...
But there's not much difference between them at the moment, 15 and 17 points. So,
but the Habs are miserable team.
Yeah.
What a shame. It's such a shame.
This one is surprising. I mean, not completely surprising, but I really thought the Rangers would be top 2 easily.
Well, I did too. I thought Rangers would be top. I thought the Devils would be in the top 3 or 4, certainly, but they're kind of... I mean,
the last few years, they've been ramping up and looking pretty good.
Yep.
They just haven't been the Hurricanes or the Rangers. And the Capitals are shocking.
I did not see that coming. Yeah, they've played... I've got Caps goal against the Avs in one of my clips. And not because it was the Avs, just So yeah, that's shaping up to be quite an interesting top four there.
And
I think
Ovechkin's actually got a few goals.
he is. He's getting there.
He's
Bastard.
what, 33?
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah, he could do it. It's possible he could do it. I don't want him to do it, but he could do it.
I don't either, because it feels cheap that he's basically just playing. They're letting him play beyond when he
Yeah, how
really
many
should
years is he
be
going to keep going?
playing
Yeah.
that kind of ice time just to catch through longevity more so than through talent.
Yeah, it's longevity. Although, I mean, he should retire and become a full-time commercial maker. That's what Ovechkin
Yeah.
is, full-time advert maker.
What he should do is tie Gretzky and announce his retirement.
Yes, that
Just
would
go
be,
down tied with Gretzky for best in the world.
I don't
It's a
think
possible one.
I don't think he'll do that.
No, he
Anyway,
won't.
there's some an interesting tussle in the Metropolitan. The West is. I mean, I must admit, I thought the
Crazy.
Wild would be better. I didn't think nobody thought the Jets would be this far on top, but they have lost two, so they're not invulnerable.
It's the most topsy-turvy division in hockey right now.
Yeah.
I mean, Nashville, we thought was going to run away with this division
Me
this
too.
year.
Yeah.
And we thought, Jets, Stars, Avs, right there, all jostling
sort
for
of top
second,
four.
third, and fourth. Instead, Nashville has not put anything together, and
Nope.
they're talking rebuild now.
It's bizarre after the signings they made.
After
the
spending spree they went on during the offseason.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not complaining, but it's not what I thought they would be top at this point. Really did.
Yeah.
So shows what you can spend, but it doesn't mean they fit together.
Yeah, and if you look, it's the goal differential is what's making the difference between the top teams and the bottom teams.
Indeed. Wild, I mean, the Wild, we did beat the Wild tonight, but the Wild were not. It wasn't like it could have gone either way. It wasn't one of those games. It was an obvious winner. It could easily have gone either way. They looked pretty good. And they were without at least 3 or 4 players through injury. So, but that's 3. We have won our last 3 after Winnipeg kind of pushed our shit in. We've won the last 3, so we're hanging about there. So are you guys. You're only.
Well, we are at exactly 500.
Exactly 500.
And kind of the thinking was if we could get to mid-November to the end of November at 500, the reinforcements were on their way. So Friday night, last night, we got Nichushkin back. We got Miles Wood back. We got Jonathan Drouin back. Mm-hmm. So we're as close to full strength as we have been all year. And I mean, it's going to take a little while to figure out the lines now.
Mm.
I mean, last night was not the prettiest game, but it was. I mean, you're introducing 3 or 4 skaters back into the lineup, kicking 3 or 4 out,
including ones that haven't skated for a while.
Yeah. I mean, Drouin since the first game of the season, Nichushkin since the playoffs last year, and Miles Wood has been up and down injured. So
I'm sure Nichushkin celebrated his return with a nice party in a hotel room somewhere.
Yep, hookers and blow.
Hookers and blow. So McKinnon, I think, is he still second in the points table at this point? I know
let me check because
top. Capra, Kirill, what's his name?
Kaprizov.
Yeah, he's top, I think.
So last I looked, I mean, as bad as the Avs are playing, the league leaders, Nathan McKinnon's leading in points by 3 points. He's got 33 to Kaprizov's
so he's
30.
Leader. Yeah.
And then we've got Rantanen tied at second for goals scored. We've got Cale Makar's, for a while there, Cale Makar was leading in the points race. And he's just fallen off in the last week, but Cale Makar's tied for 4th. Mikko Rantanen's tied for 4th. So in the top 5, there are 3 Avalanche players in the top 5 in points.
So you just need to tighten up a bit at the back.
Yeah, a goalie would be great. Or anything past a dominant first defensive pairing. The second defensive pairing and third defensive pairing should actually be good. I just don't think they're playing with any confidence in front of goalies that don't stop the puck.
Perhaps you could trade with Boston for Jeremy Swayman. That'd be
right. Don't want that contract.
Yeah, so you guys are, you're still got an offensive threat, but a little bit shugly at the back, as they say. But yeah, the Preds rock bottom there, and long may it continue. And in the Pacific, Vegas Kings, kind of expected those two to be up there.
I didn't expect the Kings to be there yet. I thought they would still be hovering around 4th or 5th this season because they're a young team, but they're doing really well.
They are. The Oilers will probably sneak up a bit, and the Canucks, they should be better than they are. I think
the Canucks are who we thought they were last year.
Yes, exactly.
They overproduced last year, and this is more like what we actually expected out of them.
So if we just look at the league as a whole, Jets, Devils, Wild, that's not necessarily the top three we saw coming.
No, that's none of those three teams are considered in the elite, tier of teams. So we'll see if they come back to the pack a little bit or if everybody just starts jumping up. But those are not the teams you considered elite last year or in the off season.
I mean, I've actually felt that the Stars are doing quite well, and they're only 10th in this list. So,
yeah.
Anyway, I'm glad it's interesting. It shouldn't be a walkover.
There's some parity in the league.
Yeah. Looking at let's have a look at the fantasy though.
Oh, I had it, man. I've already got it.
So you are. Oh, you've got it. Yeah, you're.
I'm still leading by 4.5 points, which that has narrowed over the past few days because for the past 2 weeks it's been about a 10-point lead. I was the only one near 100. Mikey has jumped up there. Belle had a great change today. She did up 3.5 points. I made a major error that we've been talking about a little bit, but now I'll show you. So here's my goalies: Hellebuck and Bobrovsky, who played each other today. So I decided I was going to pick who I thought would win the game, and I went with Hellebuck.
Yep.
And he let in 5 goals, and Bobrovsky got a freaking shutout. I would have been better off playing both of them. I would have gotten the shutout.
Oh, good for you.
Would have gotten the shutout and halved my goals against and halved the save percentage change. But no, I was dumb.
You had to try and overthink it, didn't you? This is what happens when I try and think about it instead of just going on instinct. I usually fuck it up. I go, well, that team's playing that team. This won't go as well.
Yeah, I was so pissed when I saw the score because it was like 4-0 early. It felt like so.
No worries, Snowdub. You can't remember all the time, mate. Thanks for coming over to say hi yourself. Anyway, thanks, buddy.
We appreciate it when you're able to.
Yeah, don't worry about it, mate. It was a fun show tonight you had with Jay on. So, if Jay knows anything about hockey, get him on here. So
he doesn't understand fantasy hockey. We're doing a little bit different than normal fantasy hockey because normally you would be going head to head against somebody every week, but we're doing what's called a rotisserie league, where it's counting up all your stats throughout the year and it places you in order. So Basco's got 65 goals, so he's got the most goals of any team. So the maximum value you can get for that is 13 points. So he's getting that 13 points towards his total points. So you want to be able to try to have the most even team across every category to where you're not necessarily the top in everything, although that would be great. It's highly unlikely, but you want to have an even keeled team that can do a little bit of everything. So, and Basco better start watching his games played because he's up at 224.
Well,
the next closest is.
I was going to come to that. I'm actually going to come to that in a second. I just wanted to thank Snowdub for the $2 super chat. $2 for 2 boobs. This is indeed boobs and boredom. Thank you, my friend. And for that,
I can't wait to watch you play tonight, Liam. You're going to play so good. You're going to play so good. Hey, who wants to hurt their team more, boys? Keep it up and find out. I'm only taking one of you. I'm only taking one of you. I can't.
Yeah, sorry. So yeah, the rotisserie league thing is very different, and you have to think about, as you were saying, about the games played. So if we go to the, I have controller now.
I see.
I've actually, although I'm doing pretty badly, I've hardly played any players for the last 10 days.
Yeah,
Just
I've
put
laid
them on.
off quite a
Yeah,
bit.
I've laid off a ton of them. So I've only played 191 games, whereas Basco's up at 224 right now. So I'm trying to just get under on every one of those categories for games played.
Which makes it kind of a smokescreen because Basco at the top in goals, but there's people that are only a few games or a few goals behind him,
Yeah.
but he's played 20 more games or 30 more games than some people. So
Well, indeed, Cocho. Yeah, so that's a prime example. But Bell, 55 goals, 20 games less.
20 games
So,
less.
yeah,
So he has the lead, and you'll see that lead shift unless he manages to up his goal production, because at that many more games, he's actually kind of screwed there.
Yeah.
He has the points now, but those points are going to be taken away from him as people play up the amount of games that they've got to make up.
Yeah.
You're not trying to play every game every night. You've got a pool of games that you're allowed to play during the year for each position. So
we
every
didn't
game you
realize
use, it takes up some of that pool.
Yeah, we didn't realize that at first last year, or I didn't. I was like, yeah, play every player you can possibly get.
Yeah, I can show you,
No.
since when I'm controlling, I can show you my pool.
Yeah.
So here's what my pool looks like. I'm projected to be 5 over in centers, 8 over in left wingers, 7 over in right wingers, negative in defense and goalies. So I'm actually in the complete opposite position of Basco, like with my goalies. I am playing under expected goalies, and I'm tied for top in shutouts, pretty close to the top in save percentage and goals against. So, and I'm killing everybody in wins, or I have been.
Yeah.
So, with less games played, I'm getting more out of my goalies. That's what you want to see.
Yeah.
And then you've got to start kind of worrying about games played for your other positions.
Whereas in the head-to-head, TZ, you would play every player you possibly could.
Every starter every night.
That's right. Other than if you've already won the goalie stats, you might not want to bother because you might reduce your stats. If you've already won those, you might leave a goalie in the bench.
Yeah, if you got 2 shutouts on Monday, you would probably just not play goalies because you've got a perfect save percentage, perfect goals against, and 2 shutouts.
Because right now, in this rotisserie, I'm +3 on C, +4 LW, -1, and I was up +7 on RW before. I'm -1 now, +3 in D, and -1 in goalie. So I've worked to get those down because they were all far too in the plus.
Yeah.
So basically, like a day after day, I've laid just about everybody off. So
well, and my problem with remember during the draft, what I was doing was trying to get guys who can play both positions, center left wing, center right wing. So if I let Yahoo just start my active players, it's going to fill up every slot every day if there's enough games going. So I have to manually do my lineup, because if I do the start active players, it's going to put everybody in that it possibly can, and that's going to drain those games. So you start to look for where are matchups that make sense, playing against a Nashville or a Montreal, because your guys are probably going to have better nights against those crap teams.
You might say, for me, for instance, I might say, well, I'm top of the hits. I can afford to leave a big hitter on the bench and try and play somebody that might get me shots,
Yep.
So anyway, rotisserie leagues, it's actually interesting. It's a different challenge. But Brahma is killing it right now.
But
But
that's
I'm
how
glad-
last year went too, and then I ended up faltering at the end. So,
But it's nice to see Bell's picking up a bit, and
yeah, Bell's got this figured out now, I think.
yeah, and your daughter's off the bottom now.
Mm-hmm.
She got a 4.5, didn't
She's beating a bot.
she's beating the bot.
And the bots are not using any of their games. I'm worried about what they're going to be doing later this season.
Oh, that's going to be the bots add a wild card to this whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But they have not used hardly any of their games.
Yeah. So we shall see. But that will make it interesting in its own right. As commissioner, of course, I could just throw them out of the league, I guess.
Well, then all those players go back into the pool and everybody's in a mad dash.
It's a feeding frenzy. Anyway, it's been fun. Let me just come out of that for now, and then we'll probably get to playing some clips for some action from the week. I could kick off, I guess. So, yeah, let me find something to start with. So, I started last week with I was a bit grumpy because the Stars had been beaten by the Winnipeg Jets, and not long after we'd been beaten twice by Florida, so we weren't beating the top teams. However, we are kicking the shit out of the lesser teams. So for 2 games against Pittsburgh and Boston, we scored 7 goals in each of those games, and this is a nice little compilation of those.
Nice move to Shane. His shot scores. Star Stankoven shot scored. Returning home is a shot scored by Marchment. He's off the stick, still across. Heiskanen.
We scored 6 goals in the first period against Pittsburgh.
He scores. Marchment with Sagan fed there. Score. Bumped up high, a shot score. Marchment grabs it, hand off to Shane, he scores! Dadonov on Swayman, scores! Thomas Harley, shot, and loose, scores! Stankoven! Blackwell, high slot, looking for Beck, poked, he scored! They're in, left wing side, Dadonov, he scores! Somehow the Stars still held the zone. It's hands on the doorstep, scored! Hands off Sagan, right side, shot, score! Marchment! Nice move to Shane. His shot score.
So the Duchesne Marchment Sagan line is doing really well. Nominally, supposedly not our top line, but they're absolutely killing it this year. So that was a couple of fun games, and we did win again tonight. I'm going to stick with the Star stuff, if that's okay, because this is a Miro Heiskanen goal from the game against Pittsburgh. Miro's not had the greatest of offensive seasons to date, but in this, he probably should get the assist as well as the goal, because he made this and then ended up scoring it.
On the left wing side, it's Marchment. Now Heiskanen. Heiskanen, left wing in the circle. Will bank it. Gets off the stick, still across. Heiskanen scores! What work between Heiskanen and Marchment? And
I mean, he just throws, watch this, zing, zing, I'm going to lose you, and then send it back in behind the Penguins. Allow the cross-ice pass. You should never give that up. They allow that seam. Mason Marchment finds it, finds the stick blade of Heiskanen after all the shimmies and deeks, and a perfectly wired puck.
So yeah, glad to see you're back, my friend. But
yeah, it was weird. It said I was offline. My camera wasn't working, but when I would talk, it would do the flashing thing like I was talking.
Right,
so it was like, okay, I guess he can't hear me, so I refreshed.
I could not. So yeah, that was Miro Heiskanen assisting and scoring in his own goal. Bouncing it
that
off
counted for my fantasy team.
Oh yeah, he got 2 goals out of it. He's not had a great offensive season, but that was a beautiful. He banks it off the backboards to Marchment, who then passes it back, and then Heiskanen scores. So, do you get an assist and a goal for that? You should.
You should.
You should. He got his own assist.
That or the board should get an assist.
But that was a fun one. And as I was saying, that That the line of Duchesne, Marchment, and Sagan is absolutely killing it right now for Dallas.
Grabs it, hand off Duchesne, he scores! What a shot by Matt Duchesne, high in the corner, and
The thing is, you played that whole compilation,
once
and
again, strike early.
you guys as announcers says it the same way every freaking time.
They do. They
You wouldn't
do.
be able to tell a difference
That was
between
Josh.
when Duchesne scored the first time in the compilation or this one. He
Well,
scores.
Josh is a robot. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a one-handed primary
it's
assist.
literally the same call on every goal.
It means he's incredibly balanced when we're losing. But yeah, what a line. I mean, those three guys are just killing it right now for Dallas. Not, I mean, unlike our supposed first line, Robertson and Hintz and whoever they happen to put up with them, they're not doing it very well at all. Duchesne, Marchment, Sagan, killing it. Sagan actually made, it's nowhere near the milestone that others have had this week, but Sagan did, that's not it, hit 800 career points.
Nice.
First forward from the 2010 draft to do so. It's not like the 1,000 points that McJesus just hit, but you know.
Oh, who cares?
But yeah. Well, it's funny we should mention that because there was a lot of salty takes on that one. Like this one where the guy says, yeah, the Oilers are celebrating a second period goal in November like they won the cup. It's so embarrassing. And so and readers added context. He became the fourth fastest 1,000-point scorer. Who cares? I like the top comment. Man, just for the love of the game. You laugh my ass up. You got fact checked. But yeah.
Well, Frank Saravelli had tweeted out, for perspective, Connor McDavid reached 1,000 points in 98 fewer games than Crosby, 189 fewer games than Malkin, 211 fewer than Ovechkin among active players. So I just tweeted a response that said, and he has won nothing of substance.
That's right. What
because
if
you haven't won the cup, it doesn't matter. Well, he's won the Hart a few times. I mean, he has won things, but there's no substance behind them when you don't have a cup.
That's right. And until
like
he gets
Dan
that
Marino.
cup.
Yeah, like Dan Marino, best quarterback that never won a Super Bowl.
Indeed. But he did get to appear in a movie with Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey. Yep. So Smokey asked, did we see the hit from Ryan Reeves? Yes. How about we look at it right now?
And we will take a look at it.
Cycle back by Reeves out of the reach of Dewar.
Oh.
And he is out.
And Nurse left the game, and he's out now. So, and I'm not the biggest fan of Nurse, but he doesn't deserve this. Jesus. That is a head shot right there.
Yeah, Reeves is also a very tall guy.
Yes, but Reeves is pretty bad with these.
Lately, he was not like that when he played for the Avs. But, I mean, we'll play it again here in a second, just the first part, because when it shows his face, does it not look like, what's Ron Coleman's, or not Ron Coleman, Ron Howard's little brother.
I was going to say Ron Coleman's a lawyer.
Ron Howard's brother, the actor.
Oh, yeah, the one that's in bit parts in every movie.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. Clint Howard. Yeah, look at his face after he gets hit. He looks like he got turned into Clint Howard. Right here.
Oh, it's
Clint Howard.
Yeah, Clint Howard, yeah.
That's a big hit.
It was bad. I mean, best wishes to Nurse. I hope he's not badly hurt. I know he's out now, but for who knows. But that was bad. I mean, I cringed when I saw it. Oh,
yeah.
It was.
He'll
bad.
likely be having a little call from the league on that one.
I
Maybe
think
a 3 to 5
so.
game, I think.
It's what you
He
expect
did
from
get
the
kicked
Blues,
out of the
though.
game.
Yeah. I did have just before we leave my favorite subject, which is the Stars, obviously.
Mhm.
This was cute. Did you see this? This is Matt Duchene's kids reacting to him scoring. Who films their kids in their house, by the way?
Nice move, Duchene. His shot scores.
Daddy scored.
It's exciting because it happens so little.
Oh, he's got a few goals this year.
Yeah.
But that's funny. I just think that's kind of neat. It's nice, yeah, it's cute. But I was thinking, who films their kids in their
Right.
house? What you don't see is the barbed wire around the windows, and you're not allowed out. I'm a strict father. You're staying home forever.
Yeah, you're not allowed to go to the games.
That's right. What's up with the blue cabinets? Yes. But that's funny, though.
We had another pretty huge hit followed up by a fight. So this is Ian Cole with a big hit on Hurdle. Also another former Av doing the hit.
Oh, dirty bastards.
Boom.
Oh, ouch. Yeah.
I think it was a clean hit, but it's another one of those clean hit. We're going to fight either way.
Yeah.
Or at least try to.
Well, I saw
Cole's
it. That
getting
was
himself a little bald spot.
There's a lot of that. There's a few of those. You were talking about this last week or the week before. Fights after clean hits. There was one tonight in the Stars game.
Yeah. Bissonette and the guys, had an actual 2 or 3 minute talk about it. But I mean, Bissonette was like, sure, I guess if you're going to fight me for a clean hit, fight me. But I mean, it's not anything in the code of hockey that you have to fight after you make a clean hit. So,
I mean, it's
weird.
Yeah, tonight it was because Dumba was playing. He was healthy scratched for 2 games, and quite rightly, because he was playing like dirt. But he played tonight against his old team, the Wild, and he didn't hit the guy. The guy fell over on the boards. It's just because they were both skating hard, it looked like a hit, and it wasn't.
Right.
And immediately it's chaos and a big fight. He didn't hit the guy. There was nothing there. It's just nuts, I don't get that, but anyway, that's the way the league is this year. Everyone's hypersensitive.
Yeah, I mean, last year it was like the slap shot, on an empty net, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Everybody was throwing fits about that. This year it's, hey, you made a nice hit. I'm going to fight you for it.
You got to answer the bell.
Yeah.
So, but I think it's time for a fight, though, don't you?
Oh, we've got about 5, so.
So let's play the Brendan.
Line one up, I'll line one up.
Yeah, let's do the Brendan Dillon versus Jonah Gadovich from the Devils at Panthers game, which there's multiple clips of this. This is the one I like because it's got a counter. So thank you, hockeyfights.com. This was one of the fights of the year for sure.
Behind the net, Hamilton looks to reverse it and does. And now we've got a drop of the gloves. Heavyweight battle. Gadovich throwing blows with Brendan Dillon. Wow.
Oy, oy, oy.
Now, if only this had been the fight last night.
It would have been more interesting.
It would have. 31, 32, 31. What's it going to finish as? And it finishes at Gadovich 35, Dillon 32. We have a winner.
I have heard some interesting things about the fight last night. Like there may have been something in the contract that said if Tyson knocked him out in the first 2 rounds that he would be paid less.
Yeah, I could believe it.
Which was when Tyson was most likely to knock him out if he was going to.
They were definitely not 100% committed. Let's put it
All I know is the training scenes that we saw of Tyson.
Yeah.
He had a lot more energy and a lot more power than he did in that actual fight.
That is right.
It was annoying. We've got Zikaj and Olivier with a heavyweight tilt from Columbus and Montreal. About the only thing watching one of those games is
Why,
good for.
why would those guys even bother?
Because their teams are boring, so you
Yeah.
might as well fight and have fun.
Yeah. Is that Montreal player who I can never pronounce, is he really a fighter? I didn't think he was much of a fighter, but clearly he's going for it.
A little more entertaining than something in Dallas last night.
Oh, you mentioned the Dallas one. Is
Yep.
that Zadorov?
I don't know, but I've got that one too.
Yeah. Someone's going to hurt their knuckles on their helmet eventually.
Yeah, I don't understand the keeping the helmet on. I know if you take it off, then you get the penalty, the instigator penalty. But it's
You're still going to get a penalty anyway.
Yeah, why break your hand on a helmet to avoid a penalty?
It's like a Star Wars game, Star Wars Outlaws.
Yeah.
I'm glad you get that reference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was, I mean, that must have been the only thing in that game worth watching. Yeah, snooze fest. But Savard of Montreal wouldn't fight Domi the other day. They're so bad.
Yeah,
they're just terrible.
So we've actually, we may have a couple stars fights. So we've got the Jamie Benn thing with Zadorov.
Well, you go ahead if you've got it. Yeah.
Okay.
Zadorov was totally wrong because Ben didn't do anything.
Uh-huh. We'll see about that. Let me get it lined up real quick.
Not that I'm biased or anything.
No, not even a little bit.
This is the jersey I got from Little Chad's thing that we did recently.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's the Neon Stars one with, I've got Stankovic on the back. I can't really turn around.
Yeah, did I tell you what Chad did for my daughter? So we ordered Shesterkin jersey through him, and he's a New York Rangers fan. So the fact that my daughter is a Rangers fan, he decided to throw in one of his own jerseys, limited edition jerseys for Kreider.
Nice.
And shipped it with the one that I had bought through him.
Very nice.
That was very nice of him. It was one that he was like, I've got so many extras. It's just like, no, if she's an actual fan, I'd rather her have a real jersey along with the.
I'm sure she was excited about that. That's cool.
Yeah. He said, oh, by the way, I threw in a side gift for your daughter in there too for her birthday. And I was expecting, maybe like a sticker or
a bookmark,
something small. No, it's a $200 jersey, limited edition, out of print.
Next time, tell them can I get something next time?
Well, do you want a Rangers thing? Because that's what he's got.
I'll take a Mario Lemieux. Anyway, well, there's no sound in that one. But see, Zadorov won that fight. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It was Ben's had 28 fights in his career. I heard that stat tonight.
Zadorov's probably had more than that. That's what he's paid for the most part.
He had one tonight, and he was okay, but he's really dropped off the last few years. I don't think he really wants to do it anymore. He's just not good at it anymore. Well, he used to be, but not now.
Probably shouldn't do dirty hits then.
That wasn't a dirty hit.
He shoved him in the numbers into the
player
boards
had
his
head down and stopped 3 feet from the boards. What do you expect's going to happen when you're 3 feet from the boards? Stop.
Let's have a look at the beginning again.
See, he stopped dead. Ben was already going. It was going to be
launched him head first into the boards.
But because he stopped dead first. If you don't stop dead, and that wouldn't happen. Ben kept going. He can't stop. He doesn't know you're going to stop. It would have been a perfect.
Chat, what do you think?
And he had his head down. Was it Coyle? I can't remember. Was it Coyle?
Carlo, I think.
Carlo. Okay. He. Yeah. Anyway. You knew it was going to argue that one.
Yep. But Zadorov also former Av.
I wouldn't fight. I would never fight Zadorov. Never.
Most people aren't dumb enough to fight Zadorov.
I would never fight him. Never. Well, I guess it's time we saw some goals instead of some fights and hits, because that was terrible. That wasn't really. Nobody wants to watch. That wasn't a real hit. I mean, it was just the night. Nothing happened there.
All right. You set something up, and then I'll set up my
will.
2 avs or 3 avs clips.
Well, I'll get this one in first. Then this is Connor McMichael, the other corner, scoring against the Avs. Not that I didn't pick this because it was the Avs. It's just a nice goal.
That has Washington in front. McMichael on the takeaway, closing in. Beautiful move. Backhands, he scores!
Well, you guys really need a goalie.
Highlight reel stuff.
We really do. Because that is our backup, who is actually the better goalie right now.
Intercepts it off his chin. It ramps up off his chin.
Nicely done,
It
though.
falls onto his blade.
Nicely taken. There you go. Let's see your goals.
Loading one up.
I love what TZ Burton says. It's a Boston player. The hit is clean. I rest my case, TZ, and thank you for playing. Thank you for playing.
All right, let's share that. And...
I must admit, I was texting Pope Metallicus, my good friend, after the game. Like, what happened to you guys? Where did your team go? Are you sure? Yeah. Can we trade somebody like a fourth liner for pasta?
They're pretty much they're slumping pretty bad.
Oh God, they were terrible
compared to the past few seasons. So, so this is Colorado Nashville. This is the overtime winner from our defenseman, Little Sam Girard.
Wee Sam.
He first makes a great steal. Delayed penalty. Nope, we're just going to take it.
Yeah, forget the penalty.
In the game in overtime. But the steal
I watched, I was watching this. Yeah, I watched this when it was on live.
I think I was on a show, but watching.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was on. We were on comics, and I had Thursday it on. Night. I had it on over in my big screen over here too.
No, that would have been Monday night, I think. Right?
Monday, yeah, it was Monday night. Yeah, it was one of the two comic shows. Yeah.
Speedy little defenseman.
That is a sick goal. Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, that was nice. This one was even sicker though. This was just dirty what Nathan MacKinnon does here. This is Nathan MacKinnon doing Nathan MacKinnon things.
This is filthy.
In slow motion. Passes between the guy's legs, manages to steal it from the other guy. He just duped 2 defensemen with one puck move between his legs.
And it makes one pass goal. Cross-ice pass, yeah.
I mean,
that's filthy.
Who makes this play right here? You got the tap to him, and then he just taps it to the other side of both of those players and muscles his way through both of them. And that wasn't even his best play this week. I couldn't find the goal from yesterday where he just muscled. It was in the second period on Wednesday when he just muscled two somebody's off of the puck and was like, nope, I'm taking it.
It's sick, isn't it?
Boom.
It's sick, yeah. I want to... it's funny, you just reminded me of something, and that resulted in a goal. It's brilliant. There's no denying that.
He wipes it on net.
This... I got this clip of, I'm a big fan of Logan Stankoven.
Mm-hmm.
Now he didn't score here, but this was pretty freaking sick as well.
Ottinger just standing his ground again. Just picked it over top,
flips it over the guy's head.
So good on his back end.
And he just couldn't get the shot away in the end. That's Stankoven. He's just doing that every game now, stuff like that.
Yep.
The best play in NHL history not to result in a goal. But I love him. He's a little guy, 5'8" or whatever. He's just freaking going for it.
I drafted him. I've got him playing for me.
I've got him in some teams as well. But what was funny was the game tonight. There was 2 fights, and I can't remember who was. There was Ben against somebody, and then there was
Middleton,
Brendan Smith against Smith. Some people on the Stars forums were urging Stankoven to fight Zuccarello because they're both little. So like it's Peter Dinklage fighting. Come on, guys, you've got to do it. You've got to do it.
Then speaking of the Middleton Smith fight, I guess we can go ahead and show it because I've got it pulled up. So
yeah,
let's see.
A couple cards in his back pocket in case he doesn't like what he sees. Here we got a scrap.
So excited.
Yeah. Oh, this isn't the Stars commentator. This is the Wilds.
Seen many fights from Wild players so far this season. Not sure exactly what brought this on. Jake Middleton with a couple great rights there. These two guys trying to measure each other up.
These guys have got the stretchiest jerseys in the league.
Yeah, but Smith's not doing much here.
He's not. He's hanging on for dear life. Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't want to fight in the first place. It's like, come on, guys, just stand back and let it rip like that New Jersey Devils fight we watched. This isn't a fight; it's a wrestling match.
It's a dance.
This is exhausting. I didn't do much of this.
This is exhausting.
This is exhausting. Yeah, exhausting to watch.
That's right. No, but it's finally
Two guys who don't fight pretending to fight.
That's
Kind of
right.
like last night.
Finally, when the Smith gets the guy up against the boards, he gets a punch in. But that's not the Stars commentators. That's the Wild ones.
Right.
Now the Stars have got Josh Beauregard, who's pretty flat, but Razor, our color commentator, is incredible. Ex-goalie, whatever. He's the guy that says things like, he's always making up words. He makes words up that don't exist.
Yeah.
But he's the one that said when Geordie and Jamie Benn were playing for the Stars together, the brothers, and the Geordie and Jamie combined for a goal, he said, that's double penetration.
Penetration.
So, double penetration. So Razor's hilarious. I've met him a number of times. He's a hilarious guy. Comes up with words, but
I didn't realize we were still on. So this was one of the most beautiful passing plays I think I've seen ever. It kind of already played, but we'll replay it again. This is the Winnipeg Jets on a power play, and this is just disgustingly dirty. I mean,
this one
takes it out of the air, chips it to himself.
Holy shit!
Across.
That
Boom.
Goalie's.
That is absolute
Rangers
perfection.
Goalie. Oh,
everything about that was beautiful.
It was. That's why they were doing so well. The confidence in their team was just huge.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the most beautiful plays I've ever seen in hockey, and it's
I agree.
Boom, the goalie's completely lost, and it's a wide open goal by the end of that play.
I totally agree. That's the confidence they had, and it's great to see a team actually expressing themselves like that.
Yeah. Because too often, power play, you just start passing it around, waiting for the perfect thing to happen. No, push.
I agree. I keep screaming at the Stars power play. Why are you doing this tippy-tappy shit? Drive for the net. Try to do something.
Yeah.
What's the worst that could happen?
And it happens with teams with superstars all the time. Like, when Colorado's line was Landeskog, Rantanen, and McKinnon, the power play, it would just be like, no, we're just passing it around endlessly until somebody gets the perfect shot. Same thing used to happen with Colorado. I used to scream at them when it was Hayduk, Sakic, Forsberg, and Drury. It's like, somebody just shoot the freaking puck.
I know. I mean,
it doesn't have to be the most beautiful play in the world, but this was. That one was one of the most beautiful plays I've ever seen, especially picking the puck out of the air and passing it to yourself.
Yeah.
And then that was awesome.
And drive the net. I mean, what's wrong with driving the net? Why this turn around and pass back all the time?
Yeah.
Drive the net. What's the worst that could happen? Yep. This is is like the same.
The other view
from
of it.
The other view. Yeah, I wanted to show the other view. I like this view of it. I mean, look at that. Jesus Christ. That's so good. And that's against a reasonably good team, I mean, that's
against the New York Rangers, one of the best teams in the East.
Indeed. I got a few things here.
Yeah, I'm down to one more regular fight and then a fight from 28 years ago.
Oh, 28
a
years
goalie
ago.
fight of all things.
So this is This is from the Devils Florida game the other day, and it's kind of nice. It's a nice sequence again.
Now he's in their top 6. They've been thrilled with him. Sheldon
Watch for the
Keefe said
passing.
better than
The
advertising.
passing.
I'm very happy with Kovacevic.
Across the line to reach for Brett. Pivots away from Kulikov.
Brett to Hughes, basically. Look at this. Bang.
Jack Hughes.
Yeah.
That's a beauty.
And puts one in the back of the net. And the Devils have the early lead.
I mean, that's like almost like a no-look backhand from that distance.
Yeah.
Right here, he's seen Jack Hughes.
We
Well,
did
even
see
at the
him. It's
beginning
not an
of
all.
it,
Yeah, it's not an all look.
but even at the beginning of it, here the drop back. No, it was earlier. So in the neutral zone, when the guy gets it and drops it back immediately, it's coming up.
So here, yeah,
right here, it comes off the
Right
wall and he drops it back.
Yeah.
One touches it back, and that is what opens up everything.
I mean, no one would be expecting a goal from that point at that point. But... So yeah,
No, that's
good.
just overwhelming.
It's pretty good. Yeah, it's good shit.
Yep. So we got 2 more fights. Hey, Basco, we were talking about you earlier.
Hey.
So this is Goudreau and Sealer dropping the gloves. Pretty good fight, if I remember it correctly.
Oh, yeah.
Not the biggest guys, but...
Oh, yeah. Now, Goudreau's going to hurt his knuckles on that helmet. Get that thing off.
I think he already hurt his knuckles because he stopped throwing punches directly into
That's
the helmet.
right. He's like, shit, that hurt.
He's like,
oh, shit.
my hand hurts.
It hurts. That was pretty good, yeah. Not
Yeah,
bad tussle.
that first little 5 to 10 seconds of the fight was pretty good.
Indeed, I quite enjoyed that. Yes, I don't know if I've got any.
That's
other,
what started it.
I don't think I've got any other. You said you had another fight, an old fight.
I've got a classic fight 28 years ago on the 10th. This is Hextall versus.
Oh, we love this fight. This is a great. Yeah, this is an all-time classic.
Yeah, this was 28 years ago, a few days ago.
Yeah. Oh, all-time classic. I mean, this is a fight, not some of the milquetoast shit we see. That's why I like that Devils fight earlier that we showed, because it was just real punches, you know?
I do just love that anytime goalies go at it, everybody else just stops their fights and watches.
That's right. Go. That's right. Everyone's like...
Doesn't matter how pissed you are at the other guy you were fighting half a second ago. The goalies are going, let's stop.
Let's stop. This is fun. And then the amount of gear that gets shed during the fight is always fun.
Yep. So that was classic goalie fight.
There's something about them skating up to do it.
Skating half a mile to get to the other guy.
I'm coming. I'm tired. I'm still going.
And I've got one more. I can't remember if it's a fight or a big hit. Let's check it out. Luke Shin and Tanner Janot. No, it's a fight.
Oh, yeah, this is pretty good. Short but sweet.
Some big hits in there.
There was. That was. There was no holding back there.
Don't want the music to kill us.
Indeed.
I'll just go into my office, the penalty box.
Right. So, hang on. I get.
Janot got a few in early, and then Shin just kind of.
Oh, Shin just
started throwing everything at him.
I think Janot's problem was that the last haymaker he tried to throw, he fell over as a result.
Yeah, Basco. That's why my ears are ringing. So we were looking at fantasy, and I want to make sure you understand the rules. You've only got a limited amount of games, and you've used a lot more games than everybody else. So we want to make sure it's fair and that everybody knows how it actually works. You're going to have to start measuring your...
There's a limit on number of games in each position you can play.
So when you go to your team, Basco, and you may know this, I don't know, but when you go to your team,
Look at
this
the
is
bottom.
how many games you have remaining for each position. So if you're in a plus, that means you're overusing your players. And we were just noticing earlier when we were looking at the live standings that
You've played more
the
games
number of games played by your team is 224 compared to everybody else who's hovering in the low 200s to 190s, and then all the bots who are in the 140s to 180s or 160s. So we just wanted to make sure that you're aware of how the rotisserie league works, because that was something we noticed earlier tonight. So
you may want to think of leaving a couple
you may
of
want to
players
start
out.
benching players a little bit.
Yeah, just a little, yeah.
You don't want to run out of games with the whole month of March and April to go. So,
on the other hand, from my perspective, keep on going. Because
that's just mean.
Yeah, that's mean. I'm mean. So I want to show a save.
Okay.
And this is hilarious because it's actually potentially one of the saves of the year, but it was in a game where a game that the Sharks lost. Sorry, the Blues lost 8-1 or something. I can't remember the final score. This is Joel Hofer, who's obviously Binnington's backup at the Blues.
Mm-hmm.
Is Binnington still with the Blues? I think he is, isn't he?
Yeah.
But they allowed 8 goals, but this save was made, and this is bizarrely in a game where you lose 8 goals. This is one of the greatest saves of the year, I think.
18 miles per hour on the skating there, John, and then look at this effort. Stick out, and he keeps the blade up in the air.
No, that is just incredible.
Yeah, it is.
But they lost 8 goals in the game, but he made this incredible save.
But it's Binnington?
No, it's Hofer. I think his name's Hofer,
okay.
yeah. Well played. Look at that.
Yeah,
he
if
never
it was
gave
Binnington,
up.
We're not giving him any credit.
No, I wouldn't have shown it if it was Binnington. I would never have shown it. But never give up, never surrender.
Yep.
You may be losing 8 goals, but yeah.
I'm pretty much out of clips. I've got the one last one, but it's pretty much for me and Smokey and Kremlon.
So I think just this, I've got a few. This is not. I enjoyed this. This was Ullmark and Swayman first game against each other.
Reuniting.
Yeah.
Doing their bro hug, just not quite as big as usual.
Yeah, and then getting the fans to take a photo and whatever. It was nice. It's heartwarming that, they're buddies, so.
Yeah.
That was cute. But I have a few other things. So let's have a fight. But this is
another
fight. But this is a fight. Well, that's not the right clip. Hang on.
That's Ryan Reeves hitting.
Oh my God, is this the wrong one? This one. Or have I renamed? I've renamed the wrong one. Okay, so we'll come off that while I find it. I wanted to talk about the Shoresy Classics.
Oh yeah, we should show that 2-minute teaser for it.
Yeah, so
is that going to come out on Hulu? We think.
I think it's Hulu.
Where do we see the games? Yeah.
Well, there's been 2 games so far, I think, which is Detroit and Buffalo.
Right. The original 2 that were scheduled, and then they scheduled like another 6 or something like that. But all I saw was the 2-minute teaser of it. So while we're doing that, this is for me and Smokey and Kremlon if he's around. Landeskog has been cited actually doing some drills with the full team. So
nice.
Maybe he's going to make it back. Let's see how he looks. Because he was skating pretty gingerly over the past few weeks, and then there was news of a setback. But this is the first time that I know of that he's been cited actually playing with the rest of the team in practice. So who knows? And like we were saying earlier, maybe if Landeskog isn't able to come back or comes back and has to hang up the skates, maybe the Avs go after Crosby.
You see, Crosby deserves a better ending to his career than he's going to get where he is now, because Pittsburgh are appallingly bad right now.
And the Avs are still well within their window.
Yeah.
And we've got our big guys signed for another 5 to 7 years.
Well, okay.
Rantanen should be signing an extension probably in the next few weeks.
So I know that Sid feels an incredible loyalty, and so does Malkin to Pittsburgh, but they are wasted where they are now. There is zero defense in that Pittsburgh team. It's just awful. So, I mean, hell, we scored 6 in one period against them, and it was like cutting through a hot knife through butter. There was just nothing going on at the back.
Even Mike would like to see Crosby go to the Avs.
Crosby
playing with McKinnon would be an absolute.
I'd like to see him go somewhere, but not the Avs.
Of course.
Right. So this is the fight I was talking about. This is
McCarty and
one
of the guys from Shoresy.
Yeah, it's McCarty of the Red Wings alumni against Mirasti of the Three Gyms. So this and now this isn't the greatest of clips because it's on the ice. Sorry, up against the glass. So
but it was also a completely fake fight. So
oh yeah, but it's still fun. Look at the head. They've got they both got the mohawks.
Yep.
But it's still fun.
And then they just pretend to punch each other for a few seconds.
But it's still fun though. It was a fun experience from what you can see.
There's one in the actual Shoresy clip. Did you bookmark the actual?
I bookmarked it. Yeah.
I mean, we should just show that 2-minute teaser.
But they start ripping the gear off.
Yeah.
But this is fun stuff, and it's so great to see this shit.
It looks like it was well attended too.
It looked like it was full, yeah.
In Detroit, I would expect that. Well, I don't know what the upper levels look like, but it looks like the lower level is.
I believe it was
attended.
Pretty full. Even in Buffalo, they had one in Buffalo that was pretty well attended too. Let's watch the movie, the little movie.
The teaser, 2-minute teaser for the game.
Yeah. So this is
There's not a lot of Jared Keeso in it.
No, this is the Detroit, the teaser from the Detroit one. I'll turn the volume down because
I think it's just generic music.
Generic music, yeah. Hey, they're playing some old guys there. But yeah, like, you're the worst guy in the team. But yeah, they were all there. Michaels, whatever. Everyone of the Shoresy crew were there. There he is.
And he's not playing goalie.
He's not playing goalie, funnily enough. And obviously he wasn't a goalie when I think he did play hockey, that guy. Give your balls a tug.
Give your balls a tug.
Look at that guy. So what a fun night that would be.
And then Jared Keeso is Shoresy, the referee, dropping the puck for the little kids.
Dropping the puck, yeah. There's McCarty.
I hate McCarty so much.
I bet you do. But yeah, look at that.
Hitchcock.
What a fun night that
Here's
would
that
be.
same fight, but
yeah. You see them
they're
punching past the heads. They're going past the head. Yeah, they're making it look good.
Yeah.
I love the mohawk. My disappointment was that Pavel Datsyuk wasn't there, but never mind.
Yeah, they didn't have the best of the Red Wings alumni.
It wasn't. No, there was no Datsyuk, and a few others were. I mean, they could have had.
Shanahan.
Think of the players they could have had. Yeah.
Well, all the ones that played in the Avs.
I mean, De Kaiser,
Detroit alumni game a few years ago.
Yeah. Well, no Lindholm, no Datsyuk, guys like that. But fun. It was a fun looking night. They did one in Buffalo. It looked fun as well. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, and there's a few more coming up. They added a whole bunch to it after the interest from it. So if you haven't watched Shoresy yet, you should definitely go watch Shoresy.
Yeah, well,
Great hockey show.
Interestingly enough, the Buffalo one. I was reading an article about the Buffalo one, and it mentioned something interesting, that there's going to be a Shoresy video game.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and they didn't know much about it, but apparently there is one in the works. So, will it be like the NHL games? Will it be something different? I don't know.
it'll probably be a lot more fighting and a whole bunch of Shoresy chirping as the announcer for the game, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I noticed the Sabres crew included Derek Roy and Brian Gionta. I don't recognize some of the other players, but anyway, fun night. I'd love to go to one of those games, so we shall see.
Yeah, if they do one for the Avs, I'm there, because I don't know who you're gonna field for the Avs alumni anymore, because I mean, you got Sakic, and I guess you could get Hayduk and Drury and maybe Ville and Niemanen and a few others, but
yeah,
Shoresy game coming soon.
Shoresy game coming soon. That's all. It says they don't know anything else about it.
It'll probably be a arcade style hockey game, is my guess.
It says
not a
that
NHL.
It looks like they were showed a little clip on the Jumbotron at the Buffalo game. It looks like it'll be an old school throwback to something like NHL 95, and there may or may not be a mature rating. I assume there will be a fighting mechanic.
Oh, yeah.
And probably taunting chirping as well. I've got to support
I'm
that.
I'm going to stream that. If it comes out, I'm going to buy it and stream it.
Well, we could play each other in it and stream it. That looks good. So I think we're reaching the end of our stuff.
Yep.
I have one more picture I'd like to show, and this is just because it's fairly local to where I live, kind of. This is the Sutter, not Suter, you could call them, but Suter brothers. All 6 of them in the photo. There was actually 7 in the family played in the NHL.
So that chin and nose was very genetic.
It was. So Dwayne, Brian, Daryl, Ron, Rich, Brent. Gary is not there, and the others in the family said he was the best player in the family. But look at this. I mean, and they're from Viking, Alberta, which is in northern Alberta, probably about 4 or 5 hours drive from where I am, but way north. A tiny little nothing town. 6 NHL players in that photo.
Yep.
That is unbelievable. But yeah, you can the nose is
the nose
genetic.
and the chin are very genetic. The non-existent chin and the nose.
Yeah. Just incredible picture. Viking, Alberta. I'm proud to live in Alberta now when I can say that's my province.
We gotta get you back to Texas.
It's the closest. I'd rather be in Texas, but this is the closest I can get in Canada. It's Texas's cousin in the north.
Well, you got like 2 months to come in through the southern border. So
I said to my wife, I said, why don't we just do that? But just I'll be Jose and you can be whatever.
I don't think you even have to make up a name. You just walk across the border.
Yeah. This is why it's my friends that I lived in Texas there, and I worked with people, and I had my great friends there who are still my great friends. They didn't understand why I couldn't stay because I didn't have the right visa because I'm a Canadian and I had only a certain visa and I wasn't allowed to stay, and they were paying attention to me and I would have to leave. They said, but everyone else just comes here. I said,
well, you guys could just become polygamists and you can marry an American woman along with your wife.
I suggested that to my wife. I said, we've met a number of really hot Texan girls. Maybe I could marry one of them. Funnily
And
enough, she wasn't keen on that idea.
Well, since you've already blown your own back out, you're not going to be blowing any girls' back out.
Yeah, she wasn't too keen on the whole idea though for some reason, so I gave up on that one. But that was I said, well, let's have an anchor baby.
Right.
Well, who with was her? Well, I said, I've met a number of nice girls here. I mean, one of them, we could vet them together.
Texan girls are hot.
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. And the Scottish accent was always attractive to them, of course. But anyway, I'm a good moral chap, so that didn't happen in the end. I'm a very moral chap. And by the way, the Canucks did beat the Hawks 4-1 in the end. So.
Yep. So what do you got coming up?
Well, tomorrow, I guess it'll be Culture After Dark. I am working on some videos. It's painstaking, but I'm working on a couple of new videos. One about a science fiction novel and one about some Korean stuff I'm watching. Monday night, obviously, Comics Division, Monday Night Meltdown. Tuesday night, I will be on Nick's channel, our good friend Nick Miser, for Toxic Tuesday, where we're rounding off the Roger Moore Bond movies with A View to a Kill.
Oh, James.
My name is Bob. Just realized he's James doing Bond. It all wrong.
So we're doing. So I'll be on Toxic Tuesday, and then Wednesday night on my channel, my weekly show, my regular weekly show, will be about the Who album Who's Next.
Nice.
We're going to do Talk and Roll. Oh, it's only Talk and Roll. We're going to talk about the Who again, as we haven't done that for a while. So, and it's nice to talk about one of those classic albums. So that's me. What about you, sir?
Well, in what? Well, 11 hours and 45 minutes, we will be doing the Bullpen, the political show with me and Little Chad, going over Trump's picks and just having chats about who we think is going to actually get approved and, recess appointments, all the different things that are going to be going on over the next few months as we get ready for Trump to take back over. I may show up a little bit on Culture Late Night. We'll see. Depends on how many panelists he has. And Monday night, back on comics. Tuesday night, the gaming stream. We should be back to Party Animals, I think. We didn't do it this week. We did Call of Duty Zombies only because there were only 4 of us, and it's so rare that we get to play a 4-player game because normally there's 6 to 8 people on that stream.
Wait a minute. You're saying you normally don't get to do 4-play?
Exactly. So, well, we did a lot of it with Phasmophobia.
I'm sure you
did. But those were short games, so you can swap in other people for the 4-play. But so Tuesday night we got the gaming stream. Wednesday night we should have a Christian panel this week. We haven't talked about what the topic is or who the guest will be, so we'll kind of figure that out between me and Carrie. Thursday night we're back on Comics Channel. Friday night Ascend and Art. Saturday night we will see what's going on because we may take a 2-week hiatus, or I may see if Little Chad can help out.
Just to let everybody know, I'm going to be out of action for 2 weeks. I got to go over to the UK and do some family stuff to do with my elderly mother. So I'll be out of action for a while, but hopefully, Brahma, you can persuade Chad or some others to join in and keep the show going.
Yeah, I'll talk to a few people since we've got some heads up and see if I can get a few people to come in and
that'd be nice.
Help out, because I don't really like doing solo streams unless it's gaming, because then I have something to talk about. I mean, hockey I can talk about while I'm trying to bring up all the clips and talk at the same time. It gets pretty messy.
Welcome to my world when I do my shows. It's me producing and doing all this.
Yeah,
shit.
But you've got a panel there to at least talk while you're doing stuff.
Well, true. Yeah.
The panel makes things easier, or a co-host makes things easier.
They do
not just have to, try to figure out what to say while you're trying to do everything in the background.
Do too many shows just on my own. That's true.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the solo streaming unless it's gaming. So
yeah.
So we'll see what happens over the next 2 Saturdays. But I'm pretty sure I can get a co-host in here, and we can.
It'll probably be a vast improvement.
Yeah, we. Well, they're not going to bring any clips. It'll only be me. So they just have to talk.
It'll still be an improvement.
We'll see what happens, but yeah, we'll try to keep the next 2 weeks going with a guest host or guest panel, and I'm sure Bride of Slender would love to come on and just wreak havoc.
Yeah, I'm sure she would. That sounds like a fun idea, actually.
It kind of does. Get Chad Slender and Bride of Slender and just let her go off on hockey.
Just say go.
I know she normally just watches our replay on Sunday morning, so
she'd kill it.
I don't know if she stays up this late on Saturday nights.
She would kill the show. I hope she does it. She would kill it. She'd be great.
She was fun on the watch along.
I'd love that. Yeah.
So we'll see, but yeah, that's what's coming up. I'll see you guys in about we're down to almost 11 and a half hours. So hope everybody has a great night. We'll give you an intro as an outro, and thank you for joining us. Night.
See ya.